Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I'm glad to have you here at Chraetor Creative. I'm your host, Robert, and we're getting back into making some videos. Specifically, we're rating subclasses here, so if you want to know how the Artificer holds up, stay tuned and you will find out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to draw inspiration from Dungeon Dudes, Esper the Bard, and Urge TV, and we're going to create our own class ranking system. So we're going to go over all of the class features, and then I'm going to rank the class features from the infiltration and exploration standpoint, from the social interaction standpoint, and from the combat standpoint. So that said, let's go ahead and get into it so you can find out how the Artificer holds up. So to begin with, Artificers get a d8 hit dice, not doing any favors for anything, but not doing bad, it's average. You get light armor, medium armor, and shields, you get simple weapons, you get a few different tools. You do get Constitution saving throws, which is phenomenal. You also get Intelligence, which is niche, but it's going to be cool when it comes up and when you've got it there. You also get 2 skills out of Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, Perception, and Sleight of Hand. Good choices, nothing super standoutish, but nothing bad. You can get Proficiency in Firearms if you use those in D&D. Always a nice thing. So that's our base stuff, and then we go into the more prevalent class features. So there's Magical Tinkering. So at first level, you've learned how to invest a spark of magic into mundane objects. To use this ability, you must have Thieves' Tools or Artisan Tools in hand. You then touch a tiny non-magical object as an action and give it one of the following magical properties of your choice. The object sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet. Whenever tapped by a creature, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. You utter the message when you bestow this property on the object, and the recording can be no more than 6 seconds long. The object continuously emits your choice of an odor or nonverbal sound, such as wind, waves, chirping, or the like. The chosen phenomenon is perceivable up to 10 feet away. A static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. This effect can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines, and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like. The chosen property lasts indefinitely. As an action, you can touch the object and end the property early. You can bestow magic on multiple objects, touching one object each time you use this feature, though a single object can only bear one property at a time. The maximum number of objects you can affect with this feature at one time is equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1 object. If you exceed your maximum, the oldest property immediately ends, and then the new property applies. Pretty nice. You get spellcasting. I'm not going to read all that, because we all know how spellcasting works. You're going to be like a half caster, 2/3 caster, somewhere in there. What is interesting is you have to have tools in hand in order to cast spells, so that's really cool flavor-wise. You're an intelligence caster, you prepare from a spell list, you get access to them all, you get ritual casting, all very nice. At second level, you get to infuse items, so at second level you gain the ability to imbue mundane items with certain magical infusions, turning those objects into magic items. When you gain this feature, pick 4 Artificer infusions to learn. You can learn additional infusions of your choice when you reach certain levels in the class. When you gain a level in this class, you can replace one of the Artificer infusions you learn with a new one. There's not enough time to go into all the infusions. You can look into that yourself, but there's all kinds of interesting stuff. Basically, you're making magic items. Then you get a specialty at 3rd level, but that doesn't bear relevance for just the class ranking. You get 5 ability score improvements, 1 at 4th, 1 at 8th, 1 at 12th, 1 at 16th, and 1 at 19th level, so it's nice you get 5. Tool Expertise. At 6th level, you get to double your proficiency bonus for any ability check that you make using your proficiency bonus with tools. Tools aren't used all that much, so it's going to be kind of niche, but really cool. Flash of Genius. At 7th level, you gain the ability to come up with solutions under pressure. When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you make an ability check or saving throw, you can use your reaction to add your intelligence modifier to the roll. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, basically, similar to Bardic Inspiration, but almost better. Almost worse, but almost better. Then at 10th level you get Magic Item Adept, which is phenomenal. At 10th level you can attune up to 4 magic items, and if you craft an item with a rarity of common or uncommon, it takes you only a quarter of the normal time and costs you half as much of the usual gold. Fantastic improvement on your previous skills, and awesome to be able to attune to another item. At 11th level, you get Spell Storing Item. At 11th level, you can now store a spell in an object. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch one simple or martial weapon, or one item that you can use as a spellcasting focus and store a spell in it, choosing a 1st or 2nd level spell from the Artificer spell list that requires one action to cast, but you needn't have it prepared. While holding the object, a creature can take an action to produce the spell's effect from it using your spellcasting ability modifier. If the spell requires concentration, the creature must concentrate. The spell stays in the object until it's been used a number of times equal to twice your intelligence modifier, minimum of twice, or until you use this feature again to store a spell in an object. At 14th level, we're going to improve on the magic item Adept by getting magic item Savant. You can attune to up to 5 magic items at once, and you can now ignore all class, race, spell, and level requirements on attuning to or using magic items. Phenomenal. Magic Item Master, starting at 18th level, you can now attune to up to 6 magic items at once. 6. Most people have to stop at 3. You're 2 people's worth of magic items in 1. That's almost game-breaking. Might be game-breaking. And your capstone ability, Soul of Artifice. At 20th level, you develop a mystical connection to your magic items, which you can draw on for protection. You gain a +1 bonus to all saving throws per magic item you are currently attuned to. And if you are reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright, you can use your reaction to end one of your Artificer infusions, causing you to drop to 1 hit point instead of 0. Basically, you get Undying Rage of the Barbarians. Phenomenal. This is phenomenal. That's all I can say about it. So there's all our class features. So let's go ahead and go into the ranking. The way we're going to rank this is on a scale of 0 points, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, or 5 points. These are the equivalent of F tier, D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, or S tier. Once I've ranked the 3 categories we'll be ranking, which again is Exploration and Infiltration, Combat, and Social Interactions, we'll add up the total, divide it by the 3 to get our overall class ranking. So let's go ahead and start with the Exploration and Infiltration. So to begin with, we get Magical Tinkering. You get various things that you can do with that, which goes into, can help with exploration, can help with other stuff. So, you know, it definitely has its uses, but it's somewhat limited. You get spellcasting. That's going to always be helpful for infiltration and exploration. You get your ability score improvements. That helps everything if you tailor it that way. Your tool expertise. That is very niche, but definitely going to be helpful. You need to brew wine to get the guards drunk. You get brewer's supplies. You need to craft a boat. You can get whatever artisan tools you need for that. It's super helpful for that. Flash of Genius is good for adding to pretty much anything. It's going to be good everywhere, so yeah, that's going to help. If you pick magic items that help for exploration, Boots of Silence, Boots of Striding and Jumping, etc., Cloak of the Mana Ray, like, yeah, that's definitely going to help. Spell storing items, if you store the right spell, yeah, definitely going to help. Magic item Savant and Master, same as I said for Adept. Soul of Artifice does pretty much nothing for this. So overall, this is pretty good. I want to say it's like a 4.5 on the Infiltration and Exploration. So next we go into Social Interactions. And this is where we're really going to struggle as an Artificer. See, here's the thing. Nothing here particularly helps with your social interactions. I mean, your magic tinkering can kind of help, but you're still going to be relying on charisma, which nothing here helps charisma, so it's going to be niche. Can kind of make things a little easier, but not much. Your magic infusions, you can kind of tailor towards it, but again, it's going to be niche, and you're going to be taking away from other stuff you can do. Your tools aren't going to be really helping you very much, maybe in certain niche situations, like, oh, the dwarf needs smithing tools, you can make them for him, so yeah, kind of. Flash of Genius definitely can help with that. Tool expertise, again, not all that much. Magic item Adept, Savant, and Master, you can attune to things that are going to help you with social interactions, but you're taking away from other stuff. And because you're not very good at social interactions anyways, you're like taking away from the class to build towards that. So you can, but it's not the best choice. Same with spell storing item, like you can, not the best choice. Soul of Artifice, it's there, but not really. Overall, it isn't awful, but it's not the best. It's gonna be like a 1. It's just a 1. That's all there is to it. It's a 1. So next we look at the combat side of things, and we're going to do a bit better here. Magic Tinkering isn't going to do much. I mean, you can use like distractions and stuff, but it's pretty niche and limited. Spellcasting always helps in combat. Whether you're helping yourself, whether you're buffing an ally, makes no difference. You are good in combat with your spells. That's just the way it is. Same with your infusion stuff. You can infuse armor, weapons. You can do things that are going to help you in combat. So yeah, doing good there. Your right tools for the job, your tool expertise, that's not going to do much. Ability score improvements. If you go into your combat stats, yes. If not, no. Flash of Genius can help with your saving throws, so it definitely can help. It's not going to help with attack rolls, so it's more limited, but it's definitely a help there. Your magic item adept, savant, and master skills. If you're attuning to weapons, armor, things that are going to help you in regard to that stuff, like, yeah, phenomenal help. If not, not so much, but chances are, when you can attune up to 6 items, you are going to be attuning to stuff that's going to help you in combat, so yes, that's definitely a good choice there. Spell storing item, yeah, you get access to extra spells, or you can give the barbarian or the rogue spells. Since they don't have them, give the fighter spells. Like, yes, that is definitely helpful. Like, when the rogue sneaks up on somebody and launches fire breath at them, or the fighter's getting weak, he can cast mirror image on himself to help mitigate the fact that he's losing health. Like, yeah, phenomenally helpful. And then Soul of Artifice. This is by far the best combat ability for the Artificer. This is just phenomenal. You get a +1 bonus to all saving throws per magic item you're attuned to, which, if you're playing it right, you're attuned to 6 magic items, so that's a +6 to everything. And look at the con. You're already proficient. You probably have maxed out your con by this point. So you're at a +11 without that. Your magic items get you to a +17. Nothing's beating your con. Your intelligence is going to have the same benefit, and your other things are still going to be pretty damn good. And then the ability to, if you're dropped to 0 hit points, say, no, I'm going to end this infusion and I'm going to stay at 1. Like, that lets you stay up, that lets you heal, that lets you continue the fight. You can do that over and over. There's no limit on it. Phenomenal for that. That said, your low hit die is not doing you any good. You don't get heavy armor. You don't get extra attack. There's certain things that are leaving you lacking compared to like a fighter or a barbarian. You don't get the extra damage of a rogue. So it's not going to be an A tier, you know. We're not giving it the highest score. But I do think it's a solid 3.5. Like, I definitely think that is fair to say. Like, yeah, 3.5 is pretty good. So, you know, we've got a 4.5, a 3.5, and a 1. So what we're going to end up with for that is a 9, if my math is correct. Let's see, 4.5 plus 1 is 5.5, plus a half is 6, plus 3, yeah. So a score of 9 between 3 skills brings it to a 3. So our overall Artificer ranking is a 3, which, if you keep in mind what that represents, that makes this a B tier subclass. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's never going to be the top of the game, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be viable. There's going to be things you can do. This is a great pick. And even though it's not an A pick, even though it's not an S pick, don't let that discourage you from picking this, because this can be an A or an S in certain situations. You're still going to have a ton of fun in this. So it's definitely a good choice. It's just, overall, it's a B. B is not bad. When I was in school, a B was a good thing. So that's my ranking for the Artificer. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, if I missed anything that you felt was important and should have been touched on that might have changed the score for the Artificer. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments down below. If you liked this video, liked the idea of ranking it in this way, liked what I had to say or my thoughts, go ahead and hit the like button, help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and get discovered so we can build Chraetor Creative up. Hit the bell icon and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. There's going to be more D&D class rankings and subclass rankings and other discussions, as well as all kinds of talk and play of Elden Ring and other fantasy related material. Anyways, I've eaten up enough of your time. You've seen the rankings, so you want to get out of here. So thank you so much for staying tuned this long. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.